Hey guys, what's up? This is Mel, and I'm here to talk about The Flash, this time episode 205, titled The Darkness and the Light, which premiered Tuesday, November 3rd, 2015 on the CW. And this was quite an episode, guys. We got a lot more information about Earth 2 for sure, but before we begin, just like to remind you that if you haven't seen the episode yet, please do so first, and then come and see what I picked up off it. I'd hate for my own thoughts and opinions to influence how you perceive the episode. So with that, as a reminder, also, I have not read the comics, so any thoughts and opinions from me are all solely based off what I see in the episode or anything involving the TV show itself. So let's begin. 10-minute clock. And first things first, what is something new that we learned in this episode? We definitely got to see more of Dr. Wells from Earth 2, and he seemed very insistent on his ways, and a bit more aggressive too than the Earth 1 Dr. Wells that we knew before learning that he was the Reverse Flash. This version seemed a bit more aggressive. He seemed to unleash his irritation a lot more. I definitely didn't get a sense of patience from him. Maybe that's because with our Earth 1 Wells, it was Eobard Thong who had to deal with 15 years worth of patience and stuff. So there's that. Another thing we learned is that there's this huge tension between Earth 2, Dr. Wells, and Jay Garrick. Probably because Jay blames Harrison Wells for the particle accelerator, creating all these metahumans, creating this big problem, and for creating Zoom itself. Although it wasn't clear on just what is meant by that, except for the fact that he keeps saying or is accused of being the creator of Zoom, and that's it. Another thing we learned is that Cisco's powers, which we as the audience were aware of, are finally revealed to Barry, Caitlin, and Jay through Dr. Wells in the form of his metahuman detector technology, which was pretty cool, to say the least. But that's definitely not how I expected that conversation to go. Another thing we learned is that the metahuman for this episode is from Earth 2, and that is Dr. Light, who happens to be Linda Park's counterpart, I guess you could say. So that was surprising, but I thought that jawline looked familiar when we first see her in the promo. It didn't really hit me until when we were seeing the episode, so there's that. This episode also has Barry's first date with Patty. We also meet new girl Kendra Saunders, who is the barista at Jitters, and she's actually Hawkgirl, who is supposed to be on the spin-off show Legends of Tomorrow. So it's very interesting that we actually officially get to meet her in this episode. She got a little cameo in the finale last year too. So what was the most shocking moment of the episode? Well, back on Earth 2, not only does Dr. Wells have a daughter, surprise, surprise, but she is Zoom's prisoner, which we see at the very end. So that was surprising. Another shocker is that Earth 1 looked more futuristic than Earth 2 looked more futuristic than Earth 1, especially with all that advanced technology, and I'm kind of wondering why that is. Okay, so favorite moments of the episode? I have a few. First one has to be that first date for Barry and Patty. I really like how it went. I thought it was going to be a little awkward, but it seemed to work for them, for sure. I definitely liked it. Next favorite part has to be the scene where Cisco's new nickname is being determined. Caitlin reminds Cisco that now that he's a metahuman with powers, he gets a nickname, and then Cisco immediately brightens and says, "Oh snap, right, I do." So now they're trying to figure out a cool nickname for him, and it's Barry that comes up with the name Vibe, and it seems that Cisco likes it a lot. Another favorite moment has to be Dr. Wells' belief in Barry. He definitely has more belief in him than he did in Jay, and it seems like Barry exceeds Jay when it comes to their speed, or what Jay had done with his speed. But I guess the Dr. Wells's belief in Barry will always transcend worlds. So that was interesting. Another favorite moment was the confirmation for the fact that I definitely called it when Caitlin and Jay were going to get closer back when we saw it in earlier episodes. But we definitely see it in this episode, especially when they almost kiss on their stakeout. But Dr. Light kind of intervened with that by knocking them unconscious. So there's that. Top peeved moments of the episode. First one has to be the ever-growing mystery around Zoom, especially when Dr. Wells and Jay both claim that Wells is the creator of Zoom. I'm not sure if that is meant because Wells built the particle accelerator, which is what gave all these metahumans powers to begin with, or if Wells is the creator of Zoom due to some mentorship between them that went wrong, or if it's anything like that, or if Wells is the cause of some troubling times for Zoom or something like that. It's unclear. They just keep saying that Wells was the creator of Zoom. So that mystery keeps growing, and it's getting a little annoying not knowing the answer. Second peeved moment, it's a little thing, but Patty's sudden appearance at Jitters when Barry is there trying to cheer Cisco up and getting him coffee. It only irritated me because she seems to just pop up and just like inserts herself in the conversation at like the most suspicious times possible. And like, I like Patty, especially with her and Barry together, but it's just that appearance when it happened, it didn't really sit right with me. It annoyed me. So that's all I'm going to say. Last peeve moment has to be that I don't know whether or not to trust this version of Dr. Wells or not, especially when we see him looking on at Barry, Cisco, and Caitlin at Jitters at the very end. He seemed like he was having a watchful eye on them, as if he's not trusting them, or as if he knows something more that we don't. So I don't know if I can trust him, or if they should trust him. They definitely don't seem... Caitlin's definitely not going to trust him. Cisco may have some reservations about it. Barry seems to be trusting him. So I hope he's not making the same mistake twice. So moving on, what will I remember most about this episode? The fact that there's 2 Linda Parks. That's interesting. The fact that we got to see Dr. Wells from Earth 2. That was interesting in itself. And definitely different scenarios for sure. It provided a lot of great witty banter between him and all the people who seem to hate him because of his Earth 1 counterpart. So there's that. So random questions. I actually have a few of them. So the first one is it possible that the life of Earth 2 Dr. Wells is the life that the Earth 1 Dr. Wells was supposed to have before Eobard Thawne had time traveled and killed Earth 1 Dr. Wells when he did? Because I think the daughter that Wells has on Earth 2 could be from the fact that he got to marry the woman that Eobard Thawne had killed on Earth 1. It seemed like if Eobard Thawne hadn't intervened, then maybe Wells' life could have turned out to what it had on Earth 2. So I'm just wondering if that's a possible thing, or if it's 2 distinctly different paths of life for these 2. Next question. How does Dr. Light escape in a blink of an eye? I would think she had super speed too, if I knew that she didn't, because it seemed like once she does that light blast thing that she does, everyone else shields their eyes, but I don't see how she escapes at all. It seems like she would do like a magic, like those magic trick escapes with the whole disappearing in the smoke thing. I would think she would disappear like that, but I'm just wondering if there's a logical reason how she escapes through her powers or not. Next question. Would Dr. Wells' metahuman detector beep on Jay? We saw it beep in the flashback to 8 months ago when Jay still had his speed, but in this episode, Jay states that he actually lost his speed to Zoom itself. So does that mean he's back to being a human again? And does that mean the detector would acknowledge Jay as a human instead of as a former metahuman? I'm just curious. I really like that little detector thing. And there goes the phone. Hold on. Okay, so hope we see more of those little gadgets that Dr. Wells from Earth 2 has created. I definitely like the detector thing. I think that detector is a good thing for like the people on the Flash team, not necessarily for the public, 'cause I think that would just cause a wide panic and people trying to take care of things for themselves when they're not trained for it. So anyways, before I get another phone ringing in my background, next question. Is it possible that the Killer Frost glimpse that we saw in the season 1 finale, is it possible that that is Caitlin from Earth 2? I mean, Dr. Wells proved tonight that Caitlin of Earth 1 was human, and there goes my timer. Yeah, so this episode, Dr. Wells proved that Caitlin of Earth 1 is human, while also proving that Cisco is a metahuman. So what if the Killer Frost, image that we saw of like Barry's future is actually Killer Frost from Earth 2, which would be another familiar face that Zoom sends over to kill Barry, which they think that's what Zoom's intentions were when he brought Linda Park, aka Dr. Light, over on Earth 1. So I'm just wondering if that's why we see the Killer Frost, because I can't really see how the Caitlin we've come to know now on Earth 1, I don't see how she can turn into Killer Frost, who is supposed to be a villain. So that's my question. Last question. Why haven't we seen Gideon since Barry discovered it in Wells' hidden chamber last season? I liked Gideon. Gideon was a very cool invention from the future. And I don't think that they just leave Wells' future chamber alone after even defeating him the way they did. So Gideon must still be around, right? Okay, so with that said, let's go to predictions. First prediction is not really a prediction, but based off the little bit of the promo I saw, Barry faces off against Zoom. And yeah, that's going to be scary from the looks of it. Definitely seeing Zoom in his all dominating and fearful presence. I'm definitely afraid of Zoom, just by the look of him. Definitely gives off a demonic vibe. His face, though, reminds me of the Brother Blood from Arrow. His mask, that grotesque mask that he wore back in season 2, it kind of reminded me of that, just the mouth part at least. So there's that. Another prediction. Hopefully we'll learn more about Dr. Wells' secrets from Earth 2. Maybe they will actually help the team from Earth 1. Another prediction. Relationships grow closer. That includes Barry and Patty, Jay and Caitlin, and then Cisco and newcomer Kendra. I believe we're going to see those 3 different ones growing on different levels for many different reasons and at many different speeds. And last prediction, Cisco tries to learn more about his vibe vision powers. Because we definitely saw in this episode he can't force them to happen, although it seems that Dr. Wells might either knows how to trigger them, or it was just sheer luck and impatience that got him to get Cisco to tap into it tonight. So hopefully we'll get more of a training montage for Cisco this time. So with that said, what did you guys think of the episode? What did you like? What did you hope to see? Was there anything that surprised you? I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. So don't forget, or don't be afraid to leave those. I'd love to hear about it. Or if you have your own theories about what's going to happen on The Flash, or even if you have any comic book insiders that could help clarify a few things that I brought up, that'd be great. Comments are greatly appreciated. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, check out my other videos, or share this with any other Flash fans you know. Just spread the word around. Let's keep this fan base growing. It's a great show, and I hope to see it for many more seasons to come. Also, if you want any more spoilers or any news or anything related to Flash at all, check out my Tumblr page. Link will be down below. Basically, anything I find, I try to link it back to Tumblr because I personally love it when things are all found in one place. So I usually reblog everything back to Tumblr. So if you want to check it out, just check out the links below. It'll all be there. And so yeah. So until next Tuesday, this is Mel wishing you all a great day and a great week. So bye-bye for now.